Old. Crude. Broken. But where some see death, millions see holy ground.
True, I confess no love for Harley corporate. Those Wall Streeters are killing the brand and Jason Momoa's soul. But that's why I buy the motorcycle, not the stock. It isn't a patriotism thing either. I'm not American, and frankly, neither are some of the bikes.
The reason I buy Harleys, along with 200,000 people a year, is the sound, feel, and style.
Unsatisfied? Good. It's a bit like asking a master sommelier why this Chateau Lafite is so special and being told the taste. Well, duh. Break it down for me.
The Harley thump, turning heads across the block and sales across the world, wasn't always a selling point. Early bikes were marketed as silent gray fellows, appealing to inoffensive gentlemen who wanted something clean, oil-tight, and so silent that it cannot be heard across the street.
Well, that's different. And today's pipes turn the suburb into a place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. But then again, this was a tiny single. It wasn't until Harley switched to their iconic V twin cylinder that they made a sonorous mistake. See, two pistons rotating one crankshaft is a pain in the ass. It kinda necessitates two individual crank pins. But Harley and the Davidsons are poor, so they say screw it. Well, let's just mount them on one pin, just like that. And if the cylinders are 45 degrees offset, then the firing order will just have to be 45 degrees offset too.
Giving us an engine that goes bang, bang, pause, bang, bang, pause. And that is only half of Harley's lazy serendipity.
Two cylinders, we kinda gotta figure out how to spark one plug and then the other. But again, no money, screw it. Let's just fire both plugs together. So when we're combusting this cylinder's power stroke, we're also sparking over here, burning some unburnt gas and a little pop. Now instead of bang bang pause, we have bang bang pop, or as became famous for driving forth the lamentations of women and children, potato, 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 potato.
A sound so distinctive, Harley tries to trademark it in 1994. Unsuccessfully. To the knowledgeable ear, this exhaust note is full of meaning and history, but it gets a bad rep. See, anyone on a Beamer is used to hearing clockwork, bang, 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 bang. Pull alongside a Harley going bang, bang, pop, and it just sounds like the engine is struggling to idle, like it's dying.
Hence the myth that Harleys run bad. In truth, there's nothing wrong with potato. It's what the engineering is supposed to sound like.
A shift in perspective, and sacrilege becomes sacred. One thing about 45-degree V-twins, they're almost impossible to counterbalance. Cue the jokes about this being nothing more than an expensive vibrator for old men to tickle their prostates.
See, our single crank pin V-twin has the pistons moving mostly together. And it's basically the one cylinder problem.
As the piston goes up, we swing our counterweight down. When the piston goes down, we swing our counterweight up.
Congratulations, we've perfectly balanced our engine. In one dimension, because half stroke will have our weight swinging forward or back completely unbalanced. Balls. All we've done is convert our up-down vibrations into 4 aft vibrations.
Which, uncoincidentally, is how a Harley shakes. looks rougher than a peg-legged ballerina until you see her dance.
See, fat Harley pistons weigh 600 grams and move 18 meters per second at 5,000 RPM. I converted to metric. Our oversimplified model lets us apply conservation of momentum or energy up and down. You'd get a whopping 10.8 Newton-second kick in the plums. Your motorcycle doesn't otherwise move up and down, so you'd really feel that. But Harley's counterbalancing converts to fore and aft, meaning the piston's impulse is diluted in the normal momentum of your motorcycle cruising down the road. You can't feel this at all.
The result is glass smooth, though the motor still has the weight and road stability of a half-track. It feels like a force of nature, as steady as gravity, as long as it's moving.
The misconception that these are idiotically imbalanced paint shakers comes from people using them wrong. And if you buy one to sit on and rev your engine, absolutely, it's an overpriced vibrator.
But if you buy it to ride it, you'll feel how these motors are engineered to be ridden. Harley's higher calling than the primal sin of shaky motors. Harley styling. They say you either get it or you don't. Putting us on a collision course with the old mantra, if I have to explain, you wouldn't understand.
What a silly idea. It insults your capacity for comprehension and makes me seem like an idiot who can't explain anything.
Let's tell two stories so anyone can understand the Harley style. Our first begins in 1960, when Harley is overrun by an invasion of Japanese bikes. In the 70s, a bowling ball company saves Harley from bankruptcy, yet makes some predictably heinous machines. Then in the 80s, Harley buys itself back, blobs protectionist tariffs against Japan, and uses the blast fallout to retool into a competitive, then dominant market force. To Harley's mind, this is the greatest beatdown since the Pacific War. So to celebrate, they launched the 1988 Fat Boy. A gunmetal gray, yellow-striped amalgamation of Fat Man and Little Boy. The gunmetal gray and yellow-striped atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing 200,000 men, women, and children.
Well, shit. Even in the 80s, that was poor taste.
Making it nigh unbelievable that Harley still produces the model in 2021.
Okay, remember that while I tell our second story.
Once upon a long time ago, there was the Dyna, characterized by its rubber-mounted engine and twin shocks. A combination that is occasionally, but honestly, deadly. It's called the Dyna Death Wobble.
See, rubber-mounted engines shake a lot. So you need a noodly frame with lots of free space around the engine. And go around a corner, this and this will twist, but independently.
Holy Mary, Mother of Joseph!
Exhibit B, twin rear springs. And whatever swing we want the swing arm to have, our shocks need to be about that long, meaning the recovery time is also very long. This magnifies a fundamental problem in that no two springs are identical. And say this one is a bit softer compression and this one a bit slower rebound. If I hit a bump, and this side will travel further, twisting the tire like that. Then that side rebounds slower, twisting the tire back again. Holy mother. The weirdest part is that Harley knows how to fix this. They've been doing it all along with the Softail. You just hard mount the engine for a tauter frame and use a linkage with a shorter shock,
giving the suspension shorter reaction times and more uniformity. But even still, Harley continued making the deadly Dyna for decades.
Okay, now what the Fat Boy and Dyna stories tell us is that Harley is pathologically resistant to style changes.
Faced with the most legitimate reasons to redesign, they don't. Riders deride this, myself loudest, but there's one side effect we should appreciate. See, car drivers can no longer buy vehicles like this. As they became untimely or unsafe, cars were relentlessly redesigned into what's available today. But the motorcycle industry is different. It keeps classic options. If you like this 1969 Electra Glide, you needn't shell out 100 G's for a resto build. Just buy the 2021 model. The trouble is that freezing a model line for 50 years gives your followers generations to grow attached. No one cries when Kawasaki updates the Ninja because they do it every 3 minutes, but Harley folk freak.
Closed-minded. That's the Harley style, but also a necessary consequence of keeping time capsules in our market.
Is it any wonder that sound, feel, and style always brought us back here?
See, what makes the Harley Trinity seem old, crude, and broken to the uninitiated is what makes it holy to the faithful. Our opinions are doomed to stay this polarized.
At least we can all know that there are loftier reasons to ride a Harley-Davidson.
Besides that, you know, it makes your butt feel nice.